Welcome to Champlin Park High School for Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball. Tonight, a crossover matchup as the Rebels play host to the Totino-Grace Eagles. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox, joined by Allie Arlt for tonight's game, and a great season so far for Champlin Park. 13-2 record. They've just kind of put it all together with a veteran team this season. This is a team that just knows each other. They've been through a lot of stuff together, and they just come together each game, and they're racking up those W's as the season progresses, Jay. For Totino-Grace, a real young team, just a couple of seniors, couple of juniors. Brand new coach this year, Patrick Boland, takes over, but he's pretty pleased with what they've been able to do as the season's gone on. You know, he said it's been a roller coaster on the game schedule. You see a few wins here, a few losses here. It's about finding kind of that camaraderie of a new coach and a new team, but he says that things are starting to stick and their team is playing well. Talk about key players in tonight's game, starting with the Eagles. Their leading scorer, Maddie Doran, has been able to generate points by being quick and aggressive for them. Absolutely. Coach says she's quick, she's athletic, and what she does is she fits the team style. That style is going in, pushing the ball, and trying to get that quick look really fast. And for Champlin Park, we're going to talk about one of those veterans who've been around for a long time, Amanda Pollard, just a good, solid overall player for them. You know, Amanda's a senior who's been here for a few years. She works hard every single day, and she's kind of taken on that senior leadership where some of the younger players do look to her, but she's always holding it down for the team. Champlin Park last week played a couple of games without their leading scorer, Erica Hicks. She's going to give it a try tonight off the bench, but they've been able to get some younger players, you know, helping out, and has kind of maybe lessened the loss a little bit with Erica. Yeah, Coach Steck has really asked some of his younger girls to step up when his other older girls get hurt. So you'll see Maya DeBose and Izzy Quick will be two girls that will be putting up some points tonight, Jay. Champlin Park trying not to look past this one. They've got a rematch with Centennial coming up Friday night. Meanwhile, Totino-Grace, they know they're the underdog, but they'd love to come in here and pull off a win. It's the Eagles and the Rebels, and it comes your way next here on CCX Sports.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
And welcome back here to Champlin Park High School, Northwest Suburban Conference girls basketball, as Totino-Grace and Champlin Park get set to tip it off. We've survived the snowstorm, but a little effect. Champlin Park activities canceled yesterday after school, and so they did not get to practice. And coming off a weekend, when you don't get that Monday practice in, can be a little difficult. I know coaches don't love it, that's for sure. Well, it breaks up the vibe. It breaks up kind of what you know and what you practice with and what you're used to doing within the week. Here's a look at the starters for Patrick Boland and the Totino-Grace Eagles, who come in at 9-7, 3-3 in the Northwest Suburban West. Ariana LaPanta, Maddie Doran, their leading scorer, Idara Tuco, Lamire, and Bree Glynn, the starters for Grace. And for Champlin Park and head coach Josh Steck, they are 13-2, 6-0 to lead the North Division of the Northwest Suburban. Maya DeBose and Izzy Quick, a pair of sophomores who have stepped in and done a nice job. And they've got Amanda Pollard, Michaela Johnson, and Gabby Maki. And noticeably absent from that list, of course, Erica Hicks, their leading scorer, who is poised to become the school's all-time leading scorer in girls basketball, is going to give it a try tonight, Allie, off the bench, bothered by an ankle injury. We'll be kind of wait and see for how much she's going to play. It just depends on how it feels. Well, you know, they've gone the last couple games without her, and that's tough when you've got your top scorer scoring 21 points averaging per game. And so Coach Steck said he's really expected Maya DeBose and Izzy Quick to fill in that role in those last two games. And you see that today. Erica's not getting the start, but you will see Izzy in for her. And we'll see what the two of those girls can do and bring it out today. Champlin Park coming in, certainly the favorite based on what these two teams have done this year. And, Totino-Grace doesn't dispute that and by any means, but they want to see if they can hang with what's a very veteran and good team. And it can be learning experiences on the road, too, for their younger players. Whether you win, lose, or however it turns out, you get better by playing against good competition, too.
Well, absolutely. And we talked with Coach Bolin, who's in his first year as head coach for Totino-Grace, and he said, it's been a wave of ups and downs. It's kind of getting to get comfortable being the new coach. You're trying to run a new system, and you're working with girls that you haven't worked with before. And he said that it's been good though so far. I mean, a lot of coaches, you come in at 9-7 at this point, and that's not bad.
Michaela Johnson controls the tip. Amanda Pollard will bring it to the front court here. Totino-Grace out in a 2-3 zone. They will look to switch up defenses a little bit throughout the night and keep the Rebels a little off balance. Didn't seem like either team. Here's Pollard shooting it up to start. No good. Maki, the rebound, she scores it. Didn't seem like either team really had scouted the other all that extensively in terms of, either that or they didn't want to share it with us, I guess. But pull-up jumper here will not go for Doran. Pollard looking long, quick for the layup.
And we'll probably be seeing a lot more of that as the night rolls on, Jay.
Little pressure coming. The Eagles able to get through it. Meyer driving it into the middle and then kicks it back out. Open look from the top. Will not fall, though. And it goes out of bounds. There's a look at Patrick Bolin, and kind of an interesting, he's a basketball guy, but he's also a volleyball guy and a softball guy. He's coached all three of those sports and still is in a couple of occasions. So grew up in Winona, St. John's graduate, and he's coached some volleyball at the University of St. Thomas and then softball at Cretin-Durham Hall. Maki drives and scores with the left hand, and she has been dominant. That's one area where Grace does not have a lot of, height and a lot of strength inside. Atuku will kick it back out. Doran, who's missed a couple of looks early on here, now to Glenn. Meyer lets it fly, won't drop. Nice offensive rebound, but that one fall for Glenn, and then Pollard chases it down. Looking down low to Johnson. She got bumped. No basket. It's going to be a travel call. Kind of a tough pass to thread through there. Josh Steck kind of wasn't so sure about that one, but he likes what his group's doing. It was interesting. Now they get an opportunity inside as Quick missed the layup. Pollard giving it back for Quick off her head, but she catches it. Down low to Johnson. Layup is good. And a timeout taken by Grace. Not the start that they wanted on the road. It's 8-0. We asked, Coach Steck about, are you worried about your team overlooking Centennial? And he kind of gave it a cautious, no, not really. We've talked one game at a time, but it's got to be on their minds that they've got that rematch Friday night.
Oh, absolutely. And, the last time they met, which was about a few weeks ago, 4 points they were able to take down Centennial by. So, we were talking about it before the game about what's been the goal of this Champlin Park team, because they've had a very good run. They're on a 10-game win streak right now. And so, is it the state tournament? Is it the conference title? And he said, before the season, we talked about it, and we thought we could come in and split the conference title with Centennial. But now, when he's seen what this team is really doing, he goes, I don't think we're going to split. I think we can take it at this point, which is probably a very good feeling for Champlin Park. Yeah,
when you win that first go-around at Centennial, then you get more greedy and you say, you know what, why not go for the sweep and try and get them? And it's been a little bit different look in the conference this year, as especially in their North Division. Elk River last year was undefeated state champion. They have dropped way off, so it's kind of come down to looking like a two-team race between the Rebels and Centennial. And we'll get a foul, and Grace will try and get its first points from the free throw line as Doran on the back cut here. And you see Maki getting the foul there.
Yep, and that's just the size matchup there. I mean, you're going to put somebody 5-6 inches taller on a shooter and probably going to draw the foul.
Doran hits the free throw, so Grace on the board for the first time. They've started out cold, offensively, but I think the defensive end has maybe been even more of an issue for them. Champlin Park's gotten pretty easy looks so far here anyway.
Yeah, you know, something that Totino-Grace likes to do with this new kind of style offense is perimeter scoring. So expect to see them try to really kick it out to the perimeter. I think that, you know, that's probably where they're going to find some points, but so far we haven't seen those opportunities yet for Totino.
Turnover there on the Rebels as Grace switched things up a little bit and came with a trap, and Maki thought she could get it to DeBose but sailed it over her head. Now Champlin Park coming with full court pressure. Meyer speeding into the front court, left-hand layup wouldn't drop, and now Quick releasing ahead of the field and missed the layup.
You know, that full court pressure, Jay, is something that Coach Steck said that they're implementing more as the season goes on. As they become more successful, they want to be better defensively, and to put that pressure on a full court press definitely is helping them so far down the stretch.
Turnover here on the Rebels as Quick battled for it there with LaPanta. And let's see whose foot this one hit. It looks like it's off Michaela Johnson, so it will stay with Totino-Grace.
Helps to have a softball coach teach a softball throw like that down court. That'll get you there.
Rebels fell asleep a little defensively, but they get away with it as a shot missed in the lane by Glenn. Pollard driving it into the lane. Nice dish to Johnson. She'll give it back out for Maki for a three. Wow, how about that offense? Inside and then back out.
And you know what that is, Jay? That's just that senior leadership, knowing where to look to find that open pass, kick it back out, and get the bucket.
Pollard up with the steal here. Champlin Park trying to pull away early here. They lead 11-2 to start. Maki down the lane. Nobody stepped up to stop her, and she goes all the way. Maki already has 9 points, and it's 13-2.
You know what we're not seeing out of Totino-Grace is a physical presence in the paint, Jay, and that's allowing Champlin Park to come in and force buckets down there, and it's kind of easy for them now.
Doran gets the three to bounce, but back at the other end, Michaela Johnson quickly getting the layup. So they get a bucket, but then give one back up at the other end. Here comes Doran attacking, flips it up. No good, and Maki has the rebound. Both teams really looking to push the ball, and then DeBose looked like she was trying to maybe dribble that one before she made the catch. And subs coming in here for Totino-Grace as Shea Lodermeyer, number 11, will report in. Also Megan Schlafer, the freshman, number 25.
Well, and something sloppy like that, Jay, can go as far as not having practice yesterday. Just not feeling like you've got the flow of the week under your belt. You take a day off. You know, I'm not sure how many of the girls were able to get some practice in on their own at home, but we look here and that's a great block, and that's something that Coach Bolin said he expected to happen today to his players with the size advantage that Champlin Park has.
Maki did a nice job there, and then it's out off of Doran's foot as she tried to drive that ball into the lane. The coach described her as fearless. She's willing to attack at all times, and you know, once in a while it might result in a turnover or it might result in getting your shot blocked, but rather have that than somebody who's afraid to really step up and do it.
That's every coach's dream, to have fearless players. It can get you in some predicaments, but man, that's easy to coach, is somebody who doesn't fear being out and trying to win.
Maki went inside to Johnson, then she tried to swing it around. Checking in is Erica Hicks, their number 11. She'll inbound it, and here's Megan Municky coming in as well for Champlin Park. So Hicks, the 21-point-a-game scorer, as Ellie said, with that ankle injury, we'll see how that impacts her. Got to believe she's going to be a little bit rusty, even if her ankle feels pretty good. She's not used to sitting out, anywhere near as much as she's had to the last week. Pollard kicks it over. Here's the first shot from Hicks, and it's off target. Quick with the rebound, had it blocked. And then Doran out of there with it here for Grace, but then lost it. Tuco getting it over to Glynn. Lodermeyer bringing it back out. Hicks defending her. 10-point early lead here for Champlin Park. Schlafer looking to the edge of the lane. And Pollard with the steal. Pollard and Hicks. Hicks for the layup, it's good, plus a foul.
That's that aggressive defense that Coach Steck was talking about, something that they're really priding themselves on, and forcing those turnovers and putting up points. That's going to make a big division in this score if it continues like this throughout the game.
Doran will pick up the foul. Not a bad way to get yourself started when your Hicks coming off that ankle injury. Missed the first jumper from the outside, but gets the layup to go here.
Well, Champlin Park has a deep bench, and you know, you've got multiple girls who put up double-digit points every single game, and so you can afford to have a player go down as long as the other team steps up, and especially having some of those young players having those great games.
Hicks completes the three-point play. She's less than 100 points away from becoming the career scoring leader. Natalie Gigler holding that record, but not for long the way it looks here anyway. Lodermeyer giving it back there to Meyer. Quick pursuing it, and there's a steal by Hicks. Erica Hicks takes it away. She'll go all the way for the layup, and it's good. 5 quick points off the bench for Hicks, and Coach Bolin wants another timeout as things unraveling a little bit for his team. Nice steal defensively there.
And what we're taking a moment for here is Gabby Maki. Something happened. She is injured. She's walking off with the trainer at the moment, so that's something we'll keep an eye on. It looks like maybe something in the upper body region. I think we're seeing on camera there. We'll give her a moment and we'll see if she enters back in. Yeah, not a timeout there, just the injury situation. So Johnson comes back in off the bench for the Rebels. Try to dump it inside here to Atuku. Goes up over Michaela Johnson, but first she traveled, and that's going to be tough tonight. Obviously, Maki and Johnson have more size and experience, and you know it's going to be tough for the Eagles to get a lot inside. Although Maki, we see right there in a little bit of pain. Well, and that's not what they're the most comfortable with. Right there, kicking it out to the perimeter, get that shot up, and eventually one of those will fall, and you'll start to get some points. But I think that they're going to see that a weakness for them right now is being in the paint. Pollard back out to Quick, and here's Amanda Pollard. Hicks a shot fake and then goes to Quick. Driving it, no good. Got it back, had it poked away. Johnson will give it back out to Pollard. And Izzy Quick from the wing, good for 3. They move the ball very quickly, but their spacing was good too, and they're getting some good looks. To the baseline, Abigail Schrader, number 31, is in there now for Grace. And a foul. This one will drop. Count it. As Meyer got bumped off balance pretty good, but still got that shot up and in. As Quick bumped her. Yeah, Jay, and Totino-Grace needed that. They needed a play where, you know, you can get the foul, get that bucket too. You know, if you don't get the third point out of it, so what? It's something that they needed at this moment, and maybe that can light a little bit more of a fire for this team. No good on the free throw. Sydney Fields, who's just checked in for Champlin Park, grabbed that rebound. Johnson around the Fields, and now Pollard for an open 3, and it is good. Boy, they're just doing a great job of keeping TG moving. Eventually, there's going to be a breakdown and an open look, and that's what happened. Absolutely, and you just see this team has this confidence within themselves right now, Jay, and they're certainly playing like it. Swinging the ball around, find the open girl, and the points will start falling for them. Fields picked up that foul for Champlin Park. Maria Hall coming in for Totino for the first time, number 24. Champlin Park playing good man-to-man defense there. Meyer kicking it back across. Hall flashes up to the high post. Get a foul before the shot as Pollard called for the bump. That's what they want, though, is a good aggressive defense. And I don't mean they want a foul, but they want
They want their players to be up in Totino-Grace's face when they're dribbling the ball. Quick lob and no good. Johnson rebounding the miss as Glenn didn't hit it from close range.
And that's a play that worked for them before. It's a play they want to continue to get. I mean, it's worked before, and you know, it's a slow start. This is a struggle, certainly, for Totino-Grace. They just have to find some sort of rhythm, get a couple baskets in a row, and find some sort of comfort, because they look very uncomfortable right now.
Hicks from the corner spins out, and Hall grabs the rebound here for the Eagles. Grace hasn't been able to run as much as they like, in part because Champlin Park's scoring the ball so much. It's a lot harder to get a fast break, you know, when you're taking it out of the basket and inbounding rather than getting a rebound or a steal.
Well, not only that, but the turnovers this early have already been pretty cumbersome for Totino-Grace. Not sure how many points exactly off of turnover so far, but it's been a handful.
Hicks the miss there. Eagles push it back the other way. Doran for the layup. It spins out. Hall grabs the rebound. They'll get a second crack at it. And off with the jumper there was LaPanta.
Well, Jay, Totino's getting these opportunities. They just have to finish.
So they may get another one here. Glenn driving it all the way in, score it, and a foul. She really just drove that ball right at Hicks and kind of dared her to stop her. And instead, Erica Hicks will be whistled for the foul. Look at that good aggressive take right at her.
Well, I think what Totino's going to start to see here is that this aggressive defense by Champlin Park will not let up, and you've got to find a way around it. And if you have to go hard in the paint and just hope that the basket goes in and draw the foul, if that's the way you're going to get your points, that's what they've got to do at this point until they can figure out another way to start scoring them.
Lynn missed the free throw. Maki is back in there, by the way, for Champlin Park, so that's good news. Looks like she seems to be all right after getting hit in the face, it appeared. Fields almost lost it. Now Izzy Quick, who just checked back in. That one no good, but Maki clears out some space for the rebound. Inside, and DeBose no, but she was fouled and will head to the free throw line. Rebels have done a very nice job of looking for the open player and finding her, you know, no matter where it is on the court.
You know, they're playing aggressive and fast offensively as well, but I think Totino's just showing a little bit of a struggle to keep up with them, keep up with the pace. I think that Champlin Park is certainly steering this game, and at some point, Totino's got to figure out a way to throw a stick in front of that fast car and put a little speed bump in this run.
DeBose makes the first free throw, second one coming here. And that one will spin out as Hall grabs the rebound for Grace. So 27-9 Champlin Park here. A little over 8 minutes to play in the opening half. Tried to dish it down low, but Dubois is out there for the steal. Dubois is down to Fields and had it knocked away as she tried to go up.
Now this is a perfect opportunity, Jay, for Totino-Grace to capitalize on that turnover. These are points that this team really needs.
And instead, DeBose almost had the steal, but Doran gets it back. Her jumper won't drop. And Municky rips the rebound away. Now Maki for Quick. Tough one to hang on. She gets it to Fields, though. And the layup is good. Boy, that's great hustle to save that play and then get an assist out of it as well.
That was a beautiful play, and that just comes with this team being a senior-led team. And we'll see it again right here, maybe.
And that one, they didn't take the right angle. Another look as this ball coming up court here. It wasn't a real great pass, but watch Quick get to it. And Fields is right there, and they get the bounce.
That's just knowing where your teammates are. I mean, that's a moment of panic, and you're just trying to toss the ball in, but you get it right back to your player and put the points up.
Hall with it at the edge of the lane, driving it at Maki. 20-point lead here for Champlin Park. And there's a three, though, knocked down by Meyer to cut it to 17 for Grace.
And what we also need to see out of Totino-Grace is Maddie Doran. I mean, she's, I think, only had 2 points so far in this first half when she averages 15 as their top point scorer. So we'll have to see how they can try to implement her more offensively and get her some shooting opportunities.
Quick makes the layup. She has 7 now. Maki jumping out. They throw the double team on, and the pass barely gets there. Meyer defended by DuBose here. Now it's Doran.
Looking for a lot of screens to just get the open girl to get these points up. And as long as Totino-Grace can keep trying to control, and there's possible turnover there, but they're able to hold on, but it goes back to Champlin Park.
So Hicks will check back in here. Pollard as well for the Rebels. Pollard calling out a set as she brings it up court here for Champlin Park. Back to a 2-3 zone for Grace.
You know, Jay, Erica could have probably sat and not played this game, but Coach said, she said it, Coach, I want to play. The doctor said, look, you know, ankle injuries don't just heal overnight. They don't. Ankle injuries hurt, and what's the most used body part you're usually using out there is to run around and make hard cuts and drives, and but this girl wants to play. You can tell she's got the competitive drive, and she doesn't want to miss a game if she doesn't have to.
Long 2 there for Quick. Doran had that one blocked on the way up. And I think the other thing, too, is knocked away here, is I don't think she wanted to come back for the first time playing against Centennial on Friday either. You want to get a little bit of back into the rhythm of the game.
Absolutely, and that's why Coach said she'll play limited play today. And I think which is a good idea. I mean, and at this point, when you look at the score and what it is, maybe we'll see a few more limited minutes than maybe originally expected. But there's still a lot of game left, Jay. And at this point, you know, it looks like Totino is starting to kind of figure it out a little bit more, a little more and more as the game goes on.
Michaela Johnson a putback, 35-12 lead now for the Rebels. Little space there, but the jumper won't fall for Schrader.
Had a lot of close baskets, and if those start to fall, the point spread here really shouldn't be this much.
Johnson couldn't get it to go on the feed from Maki, although it was good offense again for the Rebels. No complaints with that. Doran putting it up, won't go, and Johnson grabs the board.
And she needs to keep taking those shots. She needs to help put some more points up on the board for her team.
Well, Izzy Quick living up to her name here, getting up court in a hurry. 11 points now for Quick as she gets the layup to drop.
She had a great game last Friday. She and Maya DuBose. Maya had 17 points, and I think Izzy had somewhere around 15. And those are huge points to put up as young players who are filling a void of the top scorer on the team.
Doran dumping it inside, and Quick thought she had a block but called for the foul as Maria Hall went up with that one. And Hall will go to the free throw line here for the Eagles. And it looks like they're going to call that a foul on Maki. No, it is on Quick. Free throw no good. Quick will check out. DuBose back in here for the Rebels. And no good on the second as well. Maki rebounding it.
You know, Champlin Park just looks so comfortable out there. There never seems to be moments of panic. They just look comfortable in what they're doing, and that's tough when you're playing a team that's comfortable versus a young team who's trying to find their voice and figure out what's working best for them. That's a tough matchup.
They get a second crack at it after Maki's rebound, and Amanda Pollard makes it go as she hits her second bucket of the game on a runner there. And the Rebels really blowing this thing open in the first half. They lead at 39-12. Doran's pass stolen by Hicks. Pollard out ahead of everyone. Pollard will get the layup. No, won't drop. Dubois back out to Hicks. Nice shot fake here. Steps in, missed. Rebound though, Michaela Johnson. That's the other thing that's really been hurting Grace too. There's times when they've gotten a stop on the initial shot, but Maki and Johnson and some of the others have just been hitting the board so hard that sometimes it's like it didn't matter that they stopped the first one because they get a bucket out of it anyway.
There is a definite size advantage for Champlin Park here, and these girls know it, coach knows it, and they're definitely taking advantage of that, Jay, and that makes it really tough to defend size, to try to score over size, and that's where Totino can really find more of a perimeter game if they can get it going. That is something that Coach Bolin said that they are more comfortable in, is kicking it out, but what he's also said is that their style of play is pushing the ball offensively and getting that right look right away. I'm not seeing that so far in the first half. I'm not sure about you, and I think that's what makes them look so uncomfortable on the flip end of it, is that they're not playing their style of game, and when you get out of that, pandemonium kind of strikes, because you aren't living up to or aren't doing out on the court what you've been practicing, what you've been taught, and that, I think, is just a consequence of the fact that you got a new coach and you got new girls and a young team. Coach Bolin said we're a young team against a vetted team in Champlin Park, and we're seeing that here.
Yeah, I think the Rebels have done a good job getting back too, so they haven't had too many, just 2-on-1s or open layups for Grace either. So that's, that's what they would ideally like to get, is, get that first pass up court and beat them down. But it just, Rebels are athletic enough to they're getting back defensively. Doran knocks down the hoop there for the Eagles.
And those are only her second basket of the game.
Yeah, so that's what they've got on the board. But I thought she had might have had a little more than what they've credited her with. We'll check on that at halftime. Pass intercepted there, and now they try and score off the turnover. Here's Doran to the hoop, no good, but draws the foul, and we'll head to the free throw line.
Either way, she knows it, coach knows it, and her team knows it, that she needs to put up some more points and get those opportunities. Her teammates need to continue to find her. They know that she's a good shooter. They know that she knows how to dribble around the defense to get an open shot, and we may see more of her at the free throw line as she tries to be more aggressive and get those points.
Second free throw also good, so I've got her for 9 points now. I think there was a discrepancy on a 3, but again, we'll check that at halftime. Here's Maki down low. Dubois, wow. Ball never touched the floor. They passed it so quick, and bang, it was in.
Well, when you feel it, Jay, and these girls are feeling it in this game. It's very apparent.
Nice bank there from Meyer as Hicks tried to jump out and try and steal that ball, and instead they lose it. Hicks to Maki on the baseline, whipping it over to the other side. Dubois, another layup is good. Champlin Park, besides shooting a high percentage, they've had a high percentage of assisted baskets too. They're really passing the ball around well. Doran tied up. Nope, going to be a foul, looks like, on Dubois. She reached in, just tried to grab the ball, but the rule had some arm as well. So this will be a bonus now for the Eagles, the 7th team foul. Doran to the free throw line. Yeah, no good, and Maki grabs the miss here for Champlin Park. Pollard out to Hicks. She'll shoot it up there, and it's good for 3. Hicks coming off that ankle injury now with 8 points for the Rebels, and they lead by 30 here. We're under a minute to play in the first half. Allie's made her way down to courtside, and we'll hear from each coach here at halftime. Maki to Pollard. Pollard giving it over to Hicks. They'll pull it back out and they get into their offense. To the corner, Pollard for three, no, but Johnson the rebound. Back around it comes, Hicks passed it up, will go to Maki. Michaela Johnson now to Pollard. 20 seconds to go. Obviously they weren't holding for one shot when the possession started. We'll see if they're thinking that now. Pollard wide open from the top of the key, won't go. Eagles rebound, now 7 seconds to go. Grace trying to get one more shot up here. Ball knocked free, and here's the launch for three, and it won't fall there for Meyer. So we have come to the halfway point in this one, in Champlin Park dominating on their home court as the Rebels will take a 48-18 lead into the locker room. And if they were worried about rust after not having practice because of the snowstorm on Monday, it hasn't looked that way so far, as they have come in and seized control of this one and taken it to the Eagles, at least up to this point. For Totino-Grace, they knew this was not going to be an easy one, obviously coming in on the road against, well, first and foremost a talented team, but also a very experienced team. And so they're facing an uphill battle. Let's go down now courtside to Allie.
Coach, this is obviously a tough first half performance by the team, something that you guys aren't really that comfortable with. How do you establish more of a rhythm in the second?
You know, I think it's going to start on the defensive end of things. Getting back on defense. Champlin Park runs a transition offense about as good as anybody. They are just relentlessly pushing the ball and getting easy baskets. And the other thing we need to improve on is we got to box out and we got to get defensive rebounds. To beat a good team, you can't give them extra possessions, and they've gotten plenty of those.
As the half went on, Maddie Doran starting to get some more looks. How do you get her to start putting some more points on the board? Because you guys really need her to step up at this point. Yeah, I think just to her to continue to attack the basket. She's about as good as it gets when she's taking the ball to the hole. You know, a shot fake and attack, and then we got to do the same. We got to push the ball and still, and we got to attack the offensive glass and try to find a way to get ourselves back in it. Thanks for your time, Coach. Thank you. Jay?
Thank you, Allie, and thanks, Coach Bolin. We'll hear from Coach Steck in a moment as well. 48-18, Champlin Park dominating Totino-Grace in this first half. We'll come back with first half highlights and then our second half of basketball here on CCX Sports.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
And welcome back here to Champlin Park. The band on hand for tonight's game. And boy, the Rebels are getting it done so far, leading at 48-18 as we check out first half highlights in this evening's contest. Doran stops here and fires and gets the bounce, but had a little bit of a struggle in that first half. And there's a nice drive and finish by Bree Glynn. And then a 3 knockdown for Meyer right there. But that's, they have not done a lot offensively. It's been mostly Champlin Park. Pollard to Johnson to Maki. That was about as good as it gets, that sequence there. Maki driving it all the way to the hole and gets the layup to go. Maki getting a swat defensively there as well. And then a steal by Hicks, who's coming back off that ankle injury. Missed both games last week, but did a pretty solid job off the bench. Definitely not 100%, but is playing well. And then a 3 knockdown right there by Izzy Quick. Pollard getting an open look for a 3. Champlin Park, super balanced scoring tonight. Doran with 9 and Meyer 7 for Grace, but you got Quick at 11, Maki with 9, Johnson and Hicks at 8 each, and then also below that, Pollard and DeBose at 5 each. So they've been about as balanced as it comes, and really dominating. Their main goal right now is just to not let up any at the start of the second half. We will come back with more of our live coverage of girls basketball from the Northwest Suburban Conference. Champlin Park leading at Totino-Grace 48-18 here on CCX.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Did you know kids who play outdoors have healthier lungs?
Totally. Did you know that boys that play with dolls make better husbands? My son has lots of dolls.
But did you know terry cloth diapers breathe better?
I did.
It's totally true.
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys know statistically friendly kids have more friends?
Yeah. That's obvious.
Did you know most people think they're using the right car seat for their kid, but they're not?
Parents who really know it all know for sure that their child is in the right seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to make sure your child is protected.
Welcome back here to Champlin Park High School as girls basketball action. The Rebels leading Totino-Grace by a score of 48-18, and Coach Boland talking about, it needs to start on the defensive end to get a few stops and get back for the Eagles. They've given up quite a few easy transition buckets to Champlin Park in that first half. And let's hear what Coach Steck from Champlin Park thinks.
Coach, impressive first half. I think you got to be really pleased with the way your girls have showed up. 30 points is the spread at half. How are you guys able to do it so far?
Defense. No, we're just playing really well offensively. Defensively, we're getting after it. We've shot like 29 times in the paint, and we're executing. So, which is something we talked about
defensive stance looks great, and you're very, very aggressive offensively.
Defend harder. I really want them to defend harder. I mean, yeah, we've given up 18 points, but to me, we can defend harder.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. And Ellie and Coach may or may not have any hearing left after having to do a little talk there right in front of the band. So they sounded good, though. So that's the good part here. So the Rebels, you know, that's the thing about when you're a good team, you don't be satisfied with, you know, okay, we've got this big lead. You're getting ready for Centennial. You want aggressiveness. You want intensity out of your team. You know, yes, eventually probably you're going to be subbing out a lot of the girls and whatnot based on the, but you want them to come in and, you know, just keep that intensity up and not feel like you've got this one in the bag, even if reality is that you probably do.
More defense. That's what I learned. More defense. It really has been a great performance by Champlin Park so far, and you can just tell the team feels relaxed. They look relaxed. This is something that position they like to be in, but you know, leads like this can slip. It does happen, and you know, obviously Totino-Grace went into the locker room and they had to figure out something, and so we'll see what they bring to the table here in the second half.
Popping out from the top was Meyer, but couldn't get it to go. I guess it sounds funny to say, but if you're Totino, you're probably, at least one thing you might say to your young players is, well, it can't really go any worse than it did in the first half. So, you know, let's build from there and just kind of look at it that way, that we can shore some things up. And yeah, they're pretty good, and yeah, they've got a big lead, but you still want your kids to play the right way.
Well, and I think, you know, that halftime came at a great time for this team to, you know, try to figure out what's going to develop a rhythm for them in this game. And you know, yes, 30 points is hard to close, but they're not going to stop trying. You know, no matter what, this team's going to fight, and it'll be interesting to see what they're able to pull out.
Doran the miss. Pollard out of there with it. That last foul, by the way, was the third on Pollard, so that's something to keep a little bit of an eye on for Champlin Park. And Izzy Quick knocks it down. She's had a great night. 14 now for Izzy, and it is a 51-18 lead.
And she's just a sophomore. Jay, this is a great player who has a great future ahead of her in the next couple years here for Champlin.
Well, and in that way, it's kind of a dream scenario for Coach Steck, because he's got the core group of seniors that have just a ton of experience. So this is a great year to make a run, but at the same time, you've got Quick and Dubose and some other younger players too, but primarily those two right now who are contributing already, but also getting ready to be good, outstanding players in these next couple of years.
Absolutely. There are 4 underclassmen on the varsity roster, and 3 of which are sophomores. You got one freshman in there, and Amaya Dory, and the future's bright, you know, but you are graduating a big class as well. So you've got, what do we got here? 3 or 4 seniors and half a dozen juniors on the team, and that'll be tough to graduate, but it's also a very good look for the future of this program.
Pollard got it into Maki, who missed that shot. They haven't done a lot wrong tonight. That time didn't convert on a relatively easy looking chance, but, and Doran, I think, was fouled. And let's see if this is Pollard. Could be her 4th. And it looks like it will be.
And she's been playing a great game so far in the first half. 5 points she's walking out with right now, which doesn't always seem like a lot, but she's been contributing in every aspect of the ball. She's getting those looks, getting the ball to the open shot, playing great aggressive defense. And but Steck knows his bench runs deep, and they should be okay with having to sit her for a while.
Meyer sinking a 3 there for Grace. I kind of wondered if he knew that was the previous one was the 3rd foul. Surprised a little bit that they didn't take Pollard out, and Maki driving into attack and score. You might also be thinking that, well, chances are we're going to be pretty far ahead anyway, so we'll play Pollard and some of the other starters, even if they're in foul trouble here, because they're going to come out probably midway through the half anyway.
And that's something I was thinking too, Jay. I think still it seems a little early maybe to, I don't know if you want to call it being reckless with fouling, but she'll sit on the bench for a while, and I'm not sure if it will make too much of a difference though for Champlin Park.
Dubose is finishing nicely. One thing about Maya Dubose, she can you know, be going at pretty well full speed and not have it impact her at all in terms of getting that layup up soft off the glass.
Coach didn't have enough good things to say about her. 17 points last Friday. That's impressive. Again, that's a sophomore as well. So, you know, just a great pair of sophomores. When some of those seniors or upperclassmen fall due to injury or foul trouble, there's that confidence in knowing that there's those younger girls who are going to come out and be a factor in the game, not just play, you know, someone out on the floor, but playmakers.
Izzy Quick, the steal, and she will go to the line as the Eagles trying to stop that layup, which they did, but ended up fouling. So Izzy Quick will head to the free throw line here for Champlin Park. And the foul goes against LaPanta of Grace. Spins out for Quick.
You know, we talked about the confidence level with Champlin Park before the game with Coach Steck, and he said, you know, having this 10-game win streak, it adds a ton of confidence, but having those sophomore girls step up adds even more. It makes it, you know, sometimes I think if you have juniors and seniors, you know, playing with 9th graders or 10th graders, sometimes there isn't that trust there, but they clearly show that there's no issues there with Champlin Park and the younger players gelling and having good camaraderie with the older ones.
LaPanta swinging it around. Doran looking to attack on the baseline. Goes to the other side. No good, but was fouled. And something that we talked about in the first half and Coach did as well a little bit is sometimes if you're Doran, you know, you just have to force it a little bit. Maybe she wasn't extremely open, but by being the aggressor there, you get to the free throw line, and that's a way to get things going a little bit.
Well, and she has to. You don't see every single Eagles player out there being the one who's the most aggressive. You don't see them fighting to be the most aggressive one out there. And so I think she knows that she has to step up in that role, and I think that we'll see her be a little more aggressive here in the second half.
Municky comes back in for Champlin Park, and second free throw also good. So Doran now with 11 points for Grace. And they come with a little pressure, trying to surprise the Rebels a little bit. Dubose getting it to Municky. Gabby Maki lets it fly, and it is good for 3. Maki's good inside, but she has really developed an outside touch as well, and it's 58-23 Rebels.
You've got to love having a versatile player like that on your team, someone you know you can trust down in the paint, who can also be up at the top of the key and drain a 3 like that.
Whose foot did this one go off? It is off of Grace's, it looks like, or is there going to be an overrule? Here's a look. Maki open. Good backspin, able to drop it there.
And you know that's something she probably has to continue to work on, because there's so much of her time spent practicing down in the paint that she's got to be standing at the perimeter and keeps tossing up those 3s, trying to work on that so that in those situations she feels confident enough to be able to drain that 3.
Rebels get it. Municky around the horn. Here's Quick. That one is in and out, but look at Dubose go to get it, and she'll head to the free throw line. Looked like Grace was in position, but nobody really went for the ball as quick as Dubose here. Watch, they're kind of blocking her out, but kind of not, and she gets there.
Little role reversal, because now you got your shortest girl down in the paint while Gabby's out shooting 3s, and then you've got your little 5-6 player out there down in the paint trying to hold it down. So you just got to love that aggressive nature on both sides of the ball for Champlin Park. Neither sides have they given up, or not give up, but they haven't eased up at all. This team, they don't care if it's a 30-point lead. They're going to extend it as far as they can.
Second one, no good, and Dubose gets it back herself and scores.
Very impressive.
Now that's a great play, but if you're Totino-Grace, that can't happen to let the shooter get the rebound on a free throw like that.
You know, Coach talked about it at halftime. We need to box out, he said. We're not boxing out, not putting ourselves in position for that rebound, and you cannot allow offensive rebounds like that, and especially ones that end up putting points on the board.
Nice hoop for a Tuco there for Grace. Maki back out. They'll swing it around. Hicks passes it up for an even better look from Municky. No good there. Quick, though, wins the battle for the rebound. Dubose will give it back to Quick. And that one into the bench there as it almost went to Coach Steck. Johnson and Fields will come back into the Champlin Park lineup. As been a night for smiles tonight for the Rebels.
It's been a little bit slower of a start to the half than it was in the first half. And I'm not sure if it's because maybe, do you think Totino's maybe trying to slow it down a little bit to regain a rhythm or to establish one at all, Jay?
Rebound, put back try here. I think part of it too is for Champlin Park. As much as you can say, treat it like it's 0-0. When you're up 30, you know it, and you tend to relax a little bit. But I also think Grace has done a little bit better job defensively. They were giving up an awful lot of really easy looks in the first half, and they've at least been in better position to force a contested shot here in the second.
Well, and not only that, it looks like they're tightening up on allowing forced turnovers and creating turnovers. Not seeing that as much as you did in the first few minutes of the first half, and so I think that's something that can help them get back in this game. But you're right, a 30-point lead is tough.
Turnover there. Munich will line it up for 3, no good. Michaela Johnson boards it, and then taken away though, and here comes Meyer for Grace. Meyer block.
Look close.
Looked like a pretty good block. Munich will be called for the foul right there.
And we'll take a look at it right here. Oh, that's tough. That looked like 5 fingers on the ball to me.
That's about as clean as you're going to get.
Yeah, but.
Munich just smiled there. I mean,
what can you do? It is what it is at this point, right?
Yep. Meyer's free throw, no good. Munich, I think, is kind of an underrated or unsung part of this team for Champlin Park, too. She's not going to be the person who gets a lot of their shots or whatever, but she was starting earlier, now coming off the bench as a senior, but it's just a well-rounded player. She can play some defense. She can rebound for you, make an occasional open shot, but just somebody who doesn't need the ball all the time to be effective, but still somebody that you put out there and feel confident in.
Well, I think what she does is she proves how each player knows their role in this game. It's very impressive. You can see who is looked to get a big scoring opportunity. Just every girl knows what they're specifically out there to do, and she's just one of those contributing factors as to why this team has continued to be so dominant and is going for their 11th win in a row.
Michaela Johnson picking up that foul, her second for the Rebels, and I'm sure the Grace coaches right there feeling, a little bit better to say, at least we're blocking out and we're contesting those rebounds. We're not just giving up easy ones. Little step back move here. Wouldn't go for Schlafer. Pushed ahead to Quick. Oops. Went back out for Pollard, who kind of looked away there. And it'll be an over and back violation here against Champlin Park. Pollard was ready to make the next play with that ball and just didn't look it into her hands. Ituku dropping it off there, and the layup good. Boy, a nice play as Doran gets the hoop. Nice cut. Perfect feed, and that was one of Grace's better possessions of the night right there.
That was just a perfectly executed play is what it was, and I'm not sure if we've essentially seen that yet out of Totino-Grace, and if they can continue to do that, they might start to feel a little better about their play on the court, but there's a lot of making up to do offensively.
Munich getting the layup there as they looked over the top of that defense. Yeah, you're building toward the next game here too for both teams. Obviously, we talked a lot about Champlin Park plays Centennial next, and there's Ituku getting her second bucket of the half. But for Totino too, you build on this. They've got another tough game coming up on Thursday is Maple Grove and then Park Center. So it's definitely a tough stretch for Grace.
Well, when you look at Totino-Grace's rest of their schedule for the year, there's about 10 games or so left. And I'll tell you what, I don't know if any of those 10 games are going to be easy for them. They're in a tough conference this year, and this is a year to kind of figure it out. You got the new coach in, and like I said earlier, 9-7 is not bad to be at a halfway point for the season. You're over 500. That's great. There's a lot to build on with this team, and they're young. And so it's kind of nice when you bring in a new coach and have a young team, and it's something you can build for in the future. Not just the next game, but the future.
Yeah, they've matched last year's win total already. So, I mean, not that they're satisfied and aren't going to work to build on that, but at least that, kind of have that feeling that some progress is being made.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Jay, sometimes when you don't do as well, you can only go up, right? And so when you bring in a new head coach, there is no guarantee that you're going to get past a 9-win season like the prior season, but I think that this is a good match, bringing in Bolin for this team, and you know, it's something that they're going to build on, and it's something that might look good for the future of Totino-Grace girls basketball.
Grace Garrett's number 15 is checked in for the first time for Champlin Park. She swings it across to DuBose, and now Garrett's will get a shot attempt early. It was halfway down, but comes out. And rebounded by Schrader for Grace. Now Lodermeyer. Anna Kasper's number 33 is checked in for the Eagles as well for the first time tonight.
You know, we wondered at the beginning of the game, Jay, if there would be a little bit of, I don't know if you want to say discombobulation or rustiness, not having that practice yesterday, but it would appear as though Champlin Park can miss a practice and come out and still play well. And not just play well, but execute really, really well on defense, and then on the flip side, create a 32-point lead with 9 minutes left in the game.
Back around DuBose to the top. Pollard lobbing in for Maki, and the layup is good, but they've just moved the ball so well, and they've capitalized on their size and just kind of putting it all together and really dominating this game tonight.
Well, and what's funny, Jay, is Coach Steck told us before the game he didn't know a whole lot about Totino-Grace, and by a whole lot, pretty much not anything. And so sometimes, you know, you were saying it too, to come into a game and not actually know that much, it develops a little bit more of situations that you have to figure out throughout the game, and the girls have put themselves in very good situation throughout this one.
They get a reach-in foul there, it looks like, against Maya DuBose, as they look to trap and try and rake that ball free. And it is going to be bonus time for Grace. That's about the one thing that, you know, that they could say is they're drawing some fouls anyway, with a little more aggressive looks offensively here in the second half. So free throws will be upcoming here for Lodermeyer.
You're right, Jay, but they do teeter on that line of that 35-point lead and running time, and so then that works against them, right? Because that doesn't give them the time to create the comeback that is so desperately needed but seems out of reach.
Hicks comes back in here for Champlin Park. I'm going to get her a little more court time and be ready for Friday. Nice pass down low and quick with the layup. Boy, they've really been able to exploit that, throwing, you know, keeping a post player down real deep on the baseline and then just throwing over the top of that defense.
Well, and that's easy to do when you have a few inches on the other team. Easy to hit that tall target.
Nice block there by Lodermeyer, as it looked like Pollard was going to have a relatively easy layup. Doran's shot wouldn't drop. Rebounded in traffic. They'll get another crack at it. And that one bounces around and out. Garrett's trying to save it, but was fouled.
At this point, Jay, all Totino-Grace can keep trying to do is just putting the ball up to the hoop. Sometimes at this point you can't wait for the perfect opportunity, the perfect play to develop. You just have to keep tossing the ball up there and try to get the best looks you can, but you need points.
Quick with the block there, and obviously not a foul on the last one. It was just the Rebel Garrett's was on the baseline, and there's Quick again. Grace just struggling to adjust as they've been able to work that ball down low. Timeout requested here by Totino-Grace. 68-30 lead here for Champlin Park.
Well, I think one of the reasons that this timeout got called is because those were a quick 4 points and 2 back-to-back plays that were just rockets sent down to the paint and put up easily for 2. And so I think Coach is pulling in the girls and letting them know that they have to establish more of a defensive presence down in the paint. Because if you're not putting up the points, you got to stop them.
So look at the Conference of the West Side first, as Totino-Grace tied for third coming in, and Park Center and Maple Grove at the top. And trouble getting it in, but now they do. Glenn was fouled as she drove that ball, so she will head to the free throw line. Looks like Garrett's will pick up the personal there for Champlin Park. They've called things pretty tight tonight, which you would think maybe would favor Grace, but it hasn't really materialized as Champlin Park has kind of been better in pretty much all areas of the game.
Well, I think that those first half turnovers kind of negated that. Those turnovers, there were a lot of points that were converted off of turnovers for Champlin Park, and that not only took away points from Totino-Grace, but just extended the lead for Champlin.
Pollard working her way into the front court. Municky will swing it around. Pollard. Amanda Pollard with it on the baseline now. Municky flashing open. Here's Fields for a three. That won't go. Quick. Kept it alive. Back out. Municky steps back for a three. That won't drop. Fields the offensive rebound. Had it blocked, and then a tie-up.
And Jay, what I just saw here is what I was just talking about, is coach called that timeout and told the girls, get aggressive down in the paint. And there you had 4 girls all vying for the ball at the same time. And so I think that that is something maybe we'll see a little more of here with 5.5 minutes to go.
Municky comes up to get it. Now Pollard. Pollard a drive, offensive foul, and that will be her 5th.
Her 5th, but you know what? She demonstrated playing very well-rounded basketball today, and no love lost with her going to the bench at this point. I think get some of those younger girls in there and just continue to keep playing great basketball.
Doran did a nice job moving her feet there. I wasn't so sure when I first saw that play, but on the replay, I think that was a pretty good call. And a steal here for Fields. Fields will give it back out to Bose. They swing it around the horn, and Garrett gets a look at a three. That won't drop. Quick, how many rebounds has she gotten tonight? Got to be in double figures there, and a lot of them at the offensive end, actually. Dubose, nice pass. Fields, though, had a block from behind. And then another tie-up, and this one will go Grace's way. And as you may notice on the screen, we are into running time, so the clock is continuing to run with this margin.
And Izzy Quick is just 1 point away from hitting her season high. She's got 19 for the season high, at 18 right now, and we're seeing one of her best performances all season. And I can assume that her 19 points she scored in another game, she played lights out there too, but defensively, she's just been playing great as well.
Jumper won't go there, and fight for the rebound there. Good effort by Hall. She had her hands on it briefly. Back out Municky. Now Fields and Garrett's. See, they really want to run through their offense. And DuBose not able to get that one to go. Approaching 3.5 minutes left here as LaPanta drives it to the middle, and she will head to the free throw line for Grace. It'll be a foul on Quick, so Ariana LaPanta to the free throw line, looking for her first point of the night, and gets it.
Jay, one thing that I think Totino-Grace can take from this game as a positive is the fact that their remaining 10-plus games are going to be hard matchups, and so this is something that they can take as a learning experience. They can go back, look at film, and see where their weaknesses were and how they can try to overcome them as they face a tough end of the season here. And you can't learn to get better if you're not contested, right? So. If there's anything to take from this, at least they can see where they can build from here to try to finish the season strong.
Fields, it bounces around a couple times, wouldn't go. DuBose comes out of there. That's going to be a double dribble. Allie Krimble is checked in to the lineup for the first time, number 45 here for the Rebels, a 6'2" junior. LaPanta drives and dishes, and shot was partially blocked, and then that pass tipped away by Garrett's as we've gone under 2 minutes to play. And see some more changes here a little bit as Bianca Benson, number 15, coming in for Totino-Grace, and number 13 is Deborah Reeves for Champlin Park.
Well, what this game also does, Jay, is it just continues to prove to everybody in the conference and in the state that this Champlin Park team is for real. They really are. And a showing like this where you're executing so well offensively and so well defensively, they're a force to be reckoned with. And you know, ranked as of a few days ago, 6th in the state, Centennial 7th. So when they meet up on Friday, that's going to be a barn burner. That'll be a really fun one. And that's going to show who's ready to round out this season being on top in this conference.
LaPanta missing the free throw. Second free throw is good, so LaPanta getting a few points at the line late here as we're under a minute to play in this one. And chased down, controlled by Deja Jenkins for Champlin Park. We get a foul call, and that might send us down pretty much toward the end of the game here. Not in the bonus yet, but on the drive, a little too hard there. And Jenkins then is tied up. And I'm not sure we're going to have even to inbound this one. Rebels do get it, and they will get a chance to get one more shot up here. Pass deflected, never made it there. 5 seconds left. And we'll get a foul call. See if we'll shoot these free throws. No, I don't think we're going to. So the game will come to an end. And it is Champlin Park with a decisive win here. 68-35 Rebels, our final score. They dominated the first half and then just kind of held the lead in the second. They were up by 30 points at halftime on a very well-balanced attack here tonight for Champlin Park. Quick had 18 points, 16 for Gabby Maki, 9 points for DeBose, 8 points for Michaela Johnson, 8 points for Hicks. So they kind of got scoring and defense and rebounding from just about everyone here to pick up this victory here tonight. We'll take a quick timeout, and then we will come back to hear from the Rebels in just a moment. Champlin Park winning 68-35. Champlin Park, 14th win of the year, and the Rebels dominate against Totino-Grace 68-35. Let's go down to Allie now with one of the Rebels.
Jay, the sophomore gets the spotlight today. Izzy Quick playing an incredible game. Your second best performance offensively this year, putting up 18 points tonight. You've had 19 for a high. How are you able to just be so productive on both ends of the ball, because you played an incredible defensive game as well?
You know, it's mostly my teammates finding me when I'm open, pushing the ball, executing, stuff like that.
It's really as simple as that, right?
Yeah.
When you look at the first half of this game, you guys entered halftime with a 30-point lead, which means you were doing really great at putting points on the board and executing defensively. How were you guys able to do that?
We've been practicing a lot on executing, finishing layups, finishing shots, pushing in transition, and we just found a lot in transition tonight. Our shots were falling, stuff, yeah.
You guys didn't have practice yesterday. It was a snow day. So you guys come out and you know, you kind of guess, could you be rusty or what was the performance going to be like? But you guys came out strong. What is it about this team that makes you guys continue to do so well with your 11th win in a row?
We're really close as a team, which that always helps. And, you know, just having that 11 wins on our back really helps give us the confidence to keep going.
And you're going to need that confidence because on Friday you face Centennial and you know you beat them by 4 points last time you met just a few weeks ago. What do you guys look at as you enter into that competitive game? It's going to be a different one from tonight.
We know what we're supposed to do, you know. They're a good team. We're a solid team too, and we're just hoping to get the W.
And then for you as well, you know, having Erica Hicks out with an ankle injury, you and Maya DeBose had to really step up in these last couple games, and you did so tonight. How does it feel to be a sophomore and take on, you know, kind of that leadership role and trying to fill the shoes of your top scorer?
It feels really good. Being able to step up and score and help my team get the wins, that's what it's all about.
A humble win. We'll let you go enjoy it with your girls. It should be a great one coming up Friday night between these two teams. But for tonight, great performance by Champlin Park. Jay?
Thanks very much, Allie, and thanks, Allie, for joining me tableside tonight for the call of tonight's game as well. So, yeah, that should be a great one. It is here at Champlin Park High School on Friday night as the Rebels host Centennial. That'll do it for this one. For Allie and all of our crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Your final score, Champlin Park 68, Totino-Grace 35. Good night from Champlin Park.